Happy Spoopy Month, everyone! It is me, Wayne, and I'm here to talk to you guys about some horror anime. Throughout the entirety of this month, I'll be discussing and talking about some anime that I've seen once a week, every Tuesday. So yeah, and I'm going to be starting off with this anime called I feel like if you are in the manga community, you know damn well about Junji Ito. He is one of the most famous mangakas, not because of compelling stories and interesting characters, but because of the horror aspect of his creations. Uzumaki being one of the most famous ones, and this isn't the first adaptation from a Junji Ito work. Back in 2018, we had the Junji Ito collection, and let me just say, it wasn't really good. No one talks about it, and for good reasons. The animation wasn't really up to par, and people just really wasn't feeling it at all. It didn't feel like it was a good substitute for the manga. And especially if you're trying to adapt a manga like this, with the art style being so detailed, being so out there, the anime didn't really do the manga the service. So that makes complete sense as to why it didn't do that well. Now we have the Junji Ito's Uzumaki that has just been released, and I watched episode 1 and I gotta say, it's pretty good. This did a way better job at adapting the source material. You know, when I was a young weeb, I had consumed Junji Ito's works, and you know, it didn't mess me up like a lot of people, but I did like it, mainly because I was a horror fanatic as a kid. But that's besides the point. I'm going on a tangent. Let me talk about the actual show. First off, let me talk about the animation. The animation in this show is, for me, great. I absolutely love what they did with this. Unlike the other Junji Ito project, they made this one in black and white, which for me is what we really needed from a Junji Ito adaptation. Because I think the use of color kind of takes away from the horror aspect of it. I think using black and white adds this effect to it that I really can't really pinpoint, but it makes it more, the tone just feels more horror-esque. I don't know, I might sound dumb, but that's just me. And another thing is, this is pretty much the best that I think we can get to making Junji Ito's creations in animation form. I know there's gonna be a lot of people nitpicking in the comments saying,
"Oh no, but this is not really as accurate as it could be. You know, the detailing here isn't really the best."
But if you ask me, I think it's just fine. I like it. I really do like the art and the animation they used here, especially at the Ozami scene when she had, you know, revealed her big giant spiral that was on her face. And, you know, if I did not see that coming, I would have jumped out of my seat in complete panic as to what I just saw. But since I am a Giga Chad, you know, a full Sigma, I don't really get scared like that, you know. But anywho, jokes aside, they really cooked with this animation. I love it. They actually did what the fans really wanted. Now, we're gonna move on from the animation to the story. If you've seen Uzumaki the manga, then you already know the story, but if you haven't, let me explain it to you in very simple terms. This show follows Goshima, who lives in a town that for some reason has a weird obsession with spirals. I know that sounds dumb, but yeah, that's pretty much the premise. And you think in any other, way, this wouldn't be scary? Spirals? Are you serious? But when you go and watch it, or when you go and read it, it gets pretty scary. Junji Ito finds a way to make this simple concept a very interesting and scary concept. And one of the ways that he does this and makes it a bit more scary is kind of having spirals be literally everywhere. They're in the grass, they're in the water, they're in the air, they're on your hair, they're everywhere. That sounds like a Dr. Seuss quote. I will keep that. That's me. I did that. Hey, I know, I'm a genius. And another way that he makes these spirals scary is the utilization of them in body horror. A lot of films and a lot of horror IPs tend to use body horror very bland, once you've seen body horror films, you've seen them all. But for this one, I gotta say, he incorporates the spirals in them in very disturbing ways. Okay, we got people who put themselves in boxes and spiral themselves till they die. And we have other people who, for some reason, a scar just unlocks a vortex that ends up killing them in a self-suck accident. I am not joking, she actually dies by self-sucking herself. Now, there's one kind of complaint I can give, and might be a complaint some people might have, is that they do stick the whole thing together. Like, there's a lot of chapters that kind of get mushed into this one episode. And there are some scenes that are left out that I think would be really cool. But maybe they'll add them in the next episode because, again, like I said, this is kind of all over the place in terms of if you follow the actual manga. For example, the introduction to Azami, she doesn't appear until after Ichi's father's death. But here in episode 1, she is pretty much introduced very early before that. And I don't really mind that all too much as long as it fits well, they make it fit well, they make it make sense, and I think it works just fine if you ask me. But I can tell some people might have problems with that. But I'm just here to, just point that out. Just a little bit of a nitpick I'm here to point out. But it doesn't have to be one-to-one with the manga in terms of the pacing. I don't mind it that much. And we still have yet to see what they have in store for the next episode. So until then, how I'm liking this so far, I enjoy this show. I like it. I like episode 1. So let's just hope that they can stick the landing for going out. I will be coming back with another video on Uzumaki when the show ends. But from here, this is just a little time capsule of my opinion on the first episode. So, how do you guys like the show? Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Do you even like horror anime? Do you like horror manga? You into that sort of thing? And comment below what other horror anime I should watch. I'll see you guys in the next video, where I'll be reviewing spirals. I mean, have you seen these things? Spirals are amazing. These things are great. I mean, they're in the air, they're everywhere. I mean, have you even seen the notice that spirals are on your fingertips? I mean, oh my god, spirals are so perfect. They're so beautiful. It's really underrated, spirals really are. I mean, you really think about it, spirals are just one of the greatest gifts that God has given us on this planet. It's just so great, I might be using my line, but hey, spirals are really good, I mean, some of the most interesting things on Earth have spirals, snails have spirals, snakes have spirals, slugs have spirals, DNA strands, all spirals. Oh my god, even acorns you get back to the spirals. What are you playing music? Why is it? Hey, I'm not on here. What are you playing music?